He has called the action for UVM and now Norwich. He broadcasts the Lake Monsters in countless high school games around the state. Now the man behind the mic opens up about the personal challenge that's in front of him. Scott Fleishman has more in tonight's Spotlight on Sports.
You've likely seen his face.
Good evening, everybody. I am George Commo.
You probably recognize his name, but you've definitely heard his voice.
Takes it right to the hole and puts it in.
George Commo has been behind a microphone in Vermont for 4 decades.
He gets it because he grew up here.
It used to be a running joke that if you named a radio station in this market, I had worked at it.
Like it says in George's @PuckVoice Twitter profile, if you have a game, he'll call it.
Every night you do a play-by-play game, there's a chance you're going to see something that you've never seen before, and that really makes it exciting and interesting.
Because of what George and I both do for a living, we cross paths quite a bit. It was back in the fall at Middlebury College Football Media Day when I noticed that George's left hand was shaking while we were trying to conduct interviews. Apparently, it's an issue he had been dealing with since last summer.
That's why I posted it on Facebook. People were starting to see it.
Last November, George told everyone he had been diagnosed with the early stages of Parkinson's disease, a progressive disorder affecting the nervous system.
I can do anything I normally do with my left hand. It's just sometimes I'm doing other things with my left hand that I don't necessarily want to be doing. That's what it really comes down to.
Commo is pain-free and isn't on any medication. In fact, doctors tell the soon-to-be 65-year-old this is all he should expect for the next 2 to 5 years.
I can control it. I can stop it, more or less.
His attitude has been so far wonderful. It's an annoyance right now. He's concerned about, am I going to be able to continue doing what I do?
That's what I do.
It has been a sweet life for George and his wife Dot, which means this Parkinson's diagnosis will affect more than George's career.
I'm bothered about the fact that she is going to have to maybe be taking care of me, and that's something I hope we can find a way to work around that, because I don't want to saddle her with a burden if it becomes that.
But for now, it's business as usual.
At some point down the road, hopefully 10, 15 years down the road, it might force me to cut back on some of the things I do. For now, I don't plan on cutting back on anything.
Scott Fleishman of Channel 3, who is in my studio at this moment.
That includes his morning show on the Northeast Sports Network with co-host Jack Healy.
At the end of one of the shows, he did mention it at the very end, and that's when I talked to him after that. He's dealing with it, and I think the fact that other people have dealt with it, for example, Michael J. Fox, probably gives him a lot of encouragement.
I know it is going to become more of a factor. We're just going day to day and week to week and month to month and keeping an eye on what it's doing.
While George Commo keeps an eye on his health, we'll have our ears glued to the speakers, waiting for that next great call.
They score!
Knowing this new challenge won't silence this familiar voice anytime soon.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
Scott Fleishman, Channel 3, Spotlight on Sport.